In a remote valley hidden by misty mountains, there was a small, ancient temple where 3 monks lived in harmony. But what made them different from other monks was not just their simple lives or their devotion to the spiritual path. It was their laughter. No one who visited the temple could forget it. The sound of 3 hearty, unrestrained laughs echoing across the valley like a melody. It was a laughter that bubbled up from deep within their souls, not at something funny, but as if joy itself had taken root in their hearts. The 3 monks, Tao, Jing, and Li, were an odd trio. Tao, the eldest, was wise and contemplative, with a beard that nearly touched the ground. Jing, the middle monk, was known for his kindness and quick wit, always quick to share a gentle smile. Li, the youngest, was a free spirit with a laugh so infectious that even the stone statues in the temple seemed to smile whenever he was around. Despite their reputation for laughter, their temple was no joke. It was a place of deep meditation, rigorous discipline, and a sanctuary for those seeking answers to life's greatest mysteries. Yet, the moment you stepped inside, you were greeted not by solemn silence, but by the monks' raucous, joyful laughter. It was as though the temple itself hummed with happiness. One day, a scholar named Wei, who had spent many years seeking wisdom, decided to visit the monks. His heart was heavy with the weight of endless questions. He had studied every scripture, traveled across distant lands, and sought counsel from the greatest sages. But despite all of his knowledge, he was still restless, still searching for something that could finally bring him peace. When Wei arrived at the temple, he was greeted by the monks as usual. A burst of laughter filled the air, so loud that it startled him. Is this the place of wisdom? Wei thought, furrowing his brow. How can anyone find truth in such noise? He hesitated for a moment, but then, with a deep breath, he entered the temple. There, seated in the center, were the 3 monks, laughing as though the world had no care. Tao's deep, rumbling laughter vibrated through the walls. Jing's light, melodic chuckle danced like a breeze, and Li's infectious giggle spread like wildfire, pulling everyone in its orbit. "Why do you laugh?" Wei asked, unable to contain his curiosity. The monk stopped and looked at him with warm smiles. Tao, the eldest, stroked his long beard thoughtfully before speaking. "Why not laugh?" he said. "Laughter is a natural state of the universe. It's the sound of the sky opening, the rivers flowing, the mountains standing tall. It's the heartbeat of the world." Wei blinked, puzzled. "But how can you laugh in the face of suffering? The world is full of pain. How can you treat it lightly?" Jing, the middle monk, chuckled softly and motioned for Wei to sit. "Ah, Wei, you misunderstand. We do not laugh at suffering. We laugh with it. We laugh because we know that everything, even sorrow, is fleeting. It is like the rain, heavy and dark, but eventually it clears. And when it does, we are left with a sky full of stars." Li, the youngest monk, stood up and twirled in a circle, his laughter like the wind blowing through the trees. "Sometimes you just need to let go. Life is like a dance, Wei. It's not about knowing the steps. It's about feeling the rhythm. If you take yourself too seriously, you miss the joy of the moment." Wei, though still unsure, sat with them for days, watching, listening, and reflecting. The monks continued their daily routines, meditating, chanting, and laughing in equal measure. And over time, Wei began to notice something. The laughter wasn't an escape from life. It was a way of engaging with it fully, without fear or resistance. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the mountains, painting the sky with streaks of orange and purple, Wei asked the monks one final question. "How do I find peace? How do I stop being so lost in my thoughts?" Tao smiled, his eyes twinkling. "Peace isn't something to be found, Wei. It's already here. Peace is not in the absence of noise, but in the ability to dance with it. The storm rages, but the tree stands tall, swaying with the wind. You are that tree. Let go of your need to control the wind." Jing added, When you stop clinging to the idea of peace, you'll see it in everything. In the laughter of a child, in the rustle of the leaves, in the very air you breathe. Lee, ever the playful spirit, jumped into the air and spun around. And when you stop taking yourself so seriously, the whole world becomes a playground. Life is a gift. Enjoy it. Wei sat in silence, the weight of his years of searching suddenly lifting. It wasn't the answers he had been expecting. There were no grand truths, no lofty philosophies. There was only laughter, simple and pure, like the sound of the earth itself. That night, as the monks continued their chant, Wei felt something shift inside him. It wasn't an epiphany. It was a feeling, deep in his chest, a lightness that he had never known before. He laughed. At first, it was tentative, unsure. But as the monks joined in, his laugh grew louder, freer, until it echoed through the temple like the sound of 1,000 joyful bells. And in that moment, Wei understood. The search for truth was not a solemn quest, but a celebration. Life, with all its struggles and triumphs, was meant to be embraced with joy. The three laughing monks had shown him that the greatest wisdom lay not in the answers to his questions, but in the ability to laugh at life, to dance with it, and to live fully in each moment. From then on, whenever Wei encountered a challenge or sorrow, he remembered the monks' laughter, and with a smile, he would face whatever came his way, knowing that even in the darkest times, there was always room for joy. The three laughing monks continued to laugh, and in their laughter, they taught the world that true wisdom is not in the pursuit of perfect answers, but in the willingness to embrace life as it is, with open arms and a joyful heart.